There's nowhere in Southern California quite like Balboa Island in December. It's a place where frozen bananas are a winter staple, teddy bears take over an entire house, and the sidewalks whisk you away to a Christmas wonderland. If you want to see how this tiny island does Christmas in a big way, then keep watching. We started the adventure by heading down to Newport, and if you have kids, definitely take them to Marina Park. It's one of the best places to play right by the waterfront. They were also setting up for a holiday market that was happening that night for the boat parade. But we just headed over towards the Balboa Fun Zone and we parked right next to Peninsula Park. Of course, if you're going when the boat parade is actually happening, get there early as the parking lot gets crazy later in the day. And then we went to get pizza before heading over to Balboa Island.
This is the actual size of the pizza right here with my hand.
This isn't the best pizza or anything, but it's fun to go to because of how big the slices are.
This is the biggest pizza I have ever eaten in my life.
It is like as big as a cat.
After finishing our pizza, we made our way over to the Balboa Island Ferry. That's the sole reason we parked over here, as it's much easier to park at Newport than it is to park on Balboa Island, and it's more fun to take the ferry anyway. We're heading over to Balboa Island to see the Christmas lights.
Merry Christmas!
You can see the lights along the water right there. That's where we're heading over to tonight.
If you're not familiar with the ferry here, it's been in operation for 105 years, starting in 1919. The little ferries can take 3 cars and a couple dozen passengers, and it's only 800 feet, so it's one of the shortest ferry runs in the world. I've done it over 20 times myself, and I always love going on it, as it's just a fun thing to do in Southern California. Of course, you could just drive over to Balboa Island, but where's the fun in that? The ferry only costs $2 a person to ride, and it's just a good time. It's a little part of California history. Once you make it over to Balboa Island, everything is very walkable, and there's Christmas lights all over the island. We started by heading all the way down the avenue we were on to North Bayfront so we could walk around that way and then South Bayfront at the end. If you've heard people talk about the Christmas lights on Balboa Island, it's probably on the South Bayfront side, but I like seeing all of it.
What's cool about walking around down here is that you can walk the water, but you can also walk all of these little streets like this.
Maybe one of these years I'll just make a video where I walk up and down every street on Balboa Island to take in all of the Christmas I can.
Check that one out. Have you ever seen a snowman that big?
This is such an event in Southern California that as you're walking around, you'll often see different houses selling things like hot cocoa or candy canes. We stopped to support a 4-year-old entrepreneur and grabbed some hot cocoa for our walk.
Wow, that is a 20-foot tall Rudolph right there, I think. Hi, Rudolph.
Finishing our walk on North Bayfront, we connected with the bridge, which will actually take you over to the island if you don't want to take the ferry, and then we headed down Marine Avenue to one of my favorite stops. While there are multiple places for a Balboa bar and a frozen banana on the island, I always go to Sugar and Spice. This is supposedly the original one, and it's been here since 1945.
Oh, right there. Perfect. That's a good spot for a sticker.
You can either pick the frozen banana or ice cream, and you can dip it in cherry, butterscotch, or chocolate, and then they have all sorts of different toppings. I always get the classic chocolate, and then I always get the topping that has everything they have.
Oh man, that's the most sprinkles I've ever seen on a banana, buddy. You're not gonna be able to...
Merry Christmas!
Thank you, Merry Christmas!
The best ice cream I've had in my whole life. This is delicious.
This is one of those classic Southern California things. It really is hard to beat.
Dad, do you think the same?
There's always money in the banana stand.
Anybody else get that reference? I'm sure we're the first people to ever make it. All right, let's go explore more Christmas lights. From there, we headed down to the Grand Canal, which is a nice walkway that separates the Big Island from the Little Balboa Island. If you have the time, it's worth exploring both, but we only stayed on the Big Island this time, and if you wanted to go over to the little one, there's 2 bridges that you can cross along the Grand Canal. The Grand Canal is surprisingly lacking a lot of lights this year, but once you get out to South Bayfront, that is the best place to see all the lights. As you make it out to South Bayfront, this is where you'll run into the most amount of people who are all taking in the Christmas lights with you. Alternatively, you can also book a boat cruise if you want to see these lights from the water.
Did you ever think you were gonna come around the corner and see a posing snowman on top of a house? Well, there you go.
There's a few well-loved Christmas displays here, and the posing snowman is one of them. While we were walking along the houses, we started to see the festive boats making their way to the start of the boat parade. I wasn't paying attention when I decided to come down here, and this was actually the first day of the 4-day boat parade. It's a little challenging for my kids to stay up past 7, so we didn't go this year, but it's a lot of fun, and it was cool to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, being able to see all of these boats before the parade even started.
That's the best boat I've ever seen in my whole life.
Also, in case you're wondering, I never tell the children to say anything on camera. Half the time they'll just say, "Dad, I have something I want to say. Point the camera at me." And I never know what I'm gonna get.
You guys know you're in Newport Beach when there's a snowman with real snow. That's pretty awesome.
The snowman house is another one that's always popular, and it was hard to even take pictures because there were so many people.
This is the house that won the best lights, it looks like. It is pretty awesome. I mean, look at those green palm trees.
I wasn't as familiar with this, but apparently it's called the Ring of Lights. And that's the organization that gives out the awards for the different houses that win the best lights, best displays, things like that.
This is one of the most famous houses. There's 6,000 teddy bears in this house.
If you ask anybody who's been to Balboa about the bear house, I'm sure they'll remember seeing it. It's very memorable. I read online that it's a labor of love from a retired math teacher named Marcy Cook, and that it started in the 1970s with 1 bear, and it's over 6,000 now. I mean, it's worth the effort just to see that house. There's over 6,000 bears there, and I asked them how many did they add this year, and they said 217 so far.
This is very cool. This is very cool.
This is the ski jump house right near the bear house.
This kind of reminds me of the West Coast version of Diker Heights, and if you're not familiar with that, check out our New York video we posted last week. But it's just a super fun way to enjoy a California Christmas with a little bit of cold weather, the beach right next to you, and tons of decorated houses.
We're back at the ferry, and we're gonna go across the street and see a drone show that they're doing for the first night of the boat parade.
It was so beautiful. I loved every minute. Can't wait to come back next year.
After loading up on the ferry and starting to make our way over, we realized that the fireworks were going off over Newport Pier. This was for the first night of the boat parade, and it was pretty cool to be able to see them on the way over. And then when we made it back, we got off of the ferry and we walked the 5 minutes over to Peninsula Park. During the 4 days of the boat parade, this is where they have a drone show multiple times per night.
Drone show is supposed to start in 1 minute. We're like the only people here, so we'll see if we're in the right place or not.
And then right on time, the drone started to come out from some type of case out in the distance and start the show. The drone show lasted for about 15 minutes and it had all sorts of fun festive stuff, from a polar bear and a gingerbread man to a Santa crab and a Christmas tree. I mean, you never knew what was going to come next, and it was a huge hit for my kids. Let me know if you've seen a drone show like this in the comments and what you thought of it.
Merry Christmas, that's the last one.
That was amazing.
I agree. I'd never seen a drone show before. There was a lot of ads in it, but that was very, very, very cool. That's it for our time down in Balboa. Even if you can't see the drone show or the boat parade, you should definitely come down here for Christmas lights. We'll see you on the next one.
Hi, I hope you like our videos.